This is a two-parter today, so I'm so happy that you're here. All of you who are streaming on all the social platforms, we're thrilled that you're with us today. Those of you here in the live Zoom room, we're thrilled that you're here today. Welcome, and let's all take a breath and reach up and just open ourselves up to abundance, open ourselves up to impact, open ourselves up to clarity, contribution. And we have a really exciting opportunity today because I'm going to be bringing up the amazing, the brilliant, the talented, the absolute badass Donna Kendrick, we're going to, yeah, those of you that know Donna are getting excited already. And those of you that are meeting Donna for the first time, you'll be able to get excited because we are going to be talking about rising our wealth, rising our abundance, the connection between thought leadership and wealth and empowerment. And it's such an important topic. It's a topic we make mean so much in our world, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like what we're doing with our finances and our abundance, if it's so core to our sense of security, our sense of freedom. And so there's no one better to be our thought leader and our guide in this process and in this discussion today than the brilliant Donna Kendrick. So let's bring Donna up and welcome you, Donna, to the show. We're so excited to get to have this conversation today. And oh, there you are. Okay, amazing. So Donna, do you want to share, just let everybody know who you are, what you do, give them a quick little intro, because I have a lot of juicy questions for you and our audience might as well.
Oh, well, first, thank you so much for having me here on Thought Leaders. What a privilege. So people who don't know me, hi, I'm Donna Jean Kendrick. And I'm a widow, right? And I lost my husband in 2013 when my kids were 8, 11, and 12. He would taken his life and I was just crushed. We had lived abroad, we had just gotten stateside, we were just getting our grounding, our feet wet back into living here in the States. And I had an opportunity to just kind of stay stuck or to fly. And after about 2 years, decided that I was going to use some of my grit and I was going to make these lemons feel like lemonade. And so I kind of flipped my career on its head, did a lot of work with my current education. I had a degree in statistics for business from Penn State, big dork, went back to school and also mentored under my financial advisor, whom I found after I was a widow, and was able to recreate my career and my passion to help families in transition, that being widowhood, divorce, blended families, career changes. And that's what I do now, and was able to become an author of a #1 bestseller called A Guide to Widowhood, navigating your first 3 years with your heart, soul, and finances intact. And then most recently, a guide to blended families, because I am remarried and we do have 6 kiddos under one roof now. And all of this is just in line with mission. And I'm so happy to be a part of Thought Leaders because this is really the platform that helped me work on me while sharing my mission. So thank you.
Yeah, well, Donna, I mean, can everyone, let's take a breath, right? Because you have such an incredible story. You faced, one of the most devastating losses anyone can face, and you would have every reason to just say, that took me out. Some people just go drink, some people just melt down, some people, whatever it is, and you rose yourself, you rose your family, and now you are in your community, a leader in your community, a leader now in the world, when you came in and got to have the honor of working, with you in your book, and you're getting your message out all around the world, and specifically a soft spot for women in your community. And now not only people who've gone through a loss and widowhood, but also, like you said, blended families, empty nesting, divorcing, remarrying, getting married. I mean, there's all these points when finances come even more to the forefront, right? So you are on a mission. You are leading a movement around empowerment for individuals, for couples, moving through life's transitions. And I remember there's a big Buddhist temple in Chicago, and I remember a day I used to drive past it to my son's preschool, and there was something like there was a big banner outside one day, and it was out there for a couple months. And the first day I saw it, just said, "Accept constant change." And it was basically saying, this is the deal, people. This is a deal with life. Accept constant change. Like, there's you got to so you're helping us navigate that in the area of finances because there is going to be flux. It's not ever we're not in this, you can't step in the same river twice, all the my 101 philosophy class from school. So Donna, I want to talk a little bit about maybe some things that you recommend for entrepreneurs and thought leaders. We're always in transition. Markets change, climates change, elections just happen, all this stuff, right? So maybe some things that you're noticing for your clients to be thinking about right now. I think it's kind of a fun time of the year to think about that. And then we kind of have to talk about, because you're also a Philly girl.
Yeah.
And while I am not a Philly girl. I live in Chicago, was grown in DC. My sister and brother-in-law are, diehard Philly. So we might have to get into just some, some Philly stuff too. So anyone who's in Philly, I want to hear it on all the social platforms. Give Donna a shout out. But Donna, what are some things we should be thinking about in the current moment that we're in terms of our finances?
Yeah, if we're talking about, let's just say about people who are entrepreneurs, right? So
Yep.
many of us who are writing books, right? We're doing it to spread a bit of our mission. And sometimes we're using that as a tool to work with in our own businesses, right? To make people aware of what we do, or to have something like, I can't reach everyone in my marketplace, but here I can give a little bit of my message,
Yeah.
right? So not everyone can work with me, but I can still touch many, right? And so that's a really great reason to have our books out there. So what do I always say? One, make sure you have a trusted team of professionals around you. You are brilliant at what you do, right? I think I'm a brilliant mom, right? But I'm not a brilliant baseball coach. I don't know how to do it, right? Like I played field hockey. The ball was on the ground, not flying past your head. Well, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. But
Different size ball, different
yeah,
type.
different size ball, and I ducked real quick. But these are the things like, so make sure you have someone who is a skilled professional to help you in your business and to help you personally for those things that maybe aren't your zone of excellence, right? So have a team, have an editor on your team, have an accountant, have a partial CFO or fractional CFO. Have those people that are going to help you accelerate. Now, you might not be able to get everyone all at once, especially when we're growing our business, because times can be tough. But let's make sure that we have that trusted team and that we're able to grow and know that next best step. Second
Yes.
one, I know it's hard. I'm a planner. I like plans. I like having a cash reserve. I like having money for growth. But let's talk about that cash reserve. That cash reserve is 3 to 6 months of what it costs you to be you that you
Yeah.
can put aside. And when I say you to be you, we're talking about your business. What
Yeah.
does my business need to stay afloat for 3 months if we take a left in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Or if we're going to retract a little bit to get standard operating procedures and set, or to get a new product out there, and maybe we're not going to have that flow of income. What do we need for that 3 months, and put that aside, because I always find that you will make some better decisions when you know you have some money there to ballast, right? So
May I ask a question on this one, Donna? Because we've talked a lot about business PTSD here on the show, and in the community, most of us have had some experience that was like, oh my God, something unexpected, or something used to work and didn't, or we tried something and whatever it was, right? And I wish none of you experienced it. I wish I didn't either, but it's happened for some of us. So when we do that reserved on it, do you recommend keeping that just in a savings account that's making just a little bit of money? Or what do we do with that, like 3 to 6 months?
yep,
Best case scenario.
we call that liquid savings, right? And
Okay.
liquid savings, think of it as anything you can get to in 24 hours, right? So
Yes.
whether
Yeah.
that be a savings account, whether it be a checking account, whether it be right now, we have lots of opportunity in high yield money markets, right? That are
Okay.
usually attached to our savings or our checking that can
Okay.
yield us a nice percentage over 0%, right? Or at least
Mhm.
in line with what we hope inflation to be moving forward, maybe a 3%, a 4%. Great. I'm not even against CDs, because CDs will lock in a certain rate, and you can have them for different terms, 6 months, 12 months, 13.
Yep.
If you break a CD, you can probably still get to that money within 24 hours. You usually have to
Okay.
pay a penalty according to the
Right.
institution that grants the CD. Usually have to pay a penalty of maybe 2 or 3 months of that earned interest. But that's a great way to lock into what you might feel is an attractive interest rate. But so
Sure.
CDs, high yield money market, savings account, and hey, there is cold hard cash, right? And that comes from back in the Depression when people hid their money into their
Not
free
just
right? Because if the house burnt down, the freezer would still be there and your money's
Right.
in the freezer, cold hard cash. I don't recommend all of it, but hey, if that's what makes you feel better,
Right.
freeze it up, my friends, freeze it up.
Is that where the origin of cold hard cash came from? Was in the depression of people putting the money in the fridge? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have learned something that I wasn't even expecting. That was a nerdy fact about a colloquial. Thank you for that. That was amazing. Okay, so I interrupted you. You gave us two things. Is there a third we want to be thinking about, like besides our reserve?
Yeah, get your team, right? Get your reserve behind there. And the one thing is always, you have the team, right? You have the money. Now you just have to have that next best minute. You have to have that launching point. And a lot of that comes from believing in ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So do what you need to do to unblock yourself so you can say yes to the opportunities you can share with other people.
Yes.
And that's a big part of it because all we have is our next best minute. Like you said, you can't stand in the same river twice, right? Like you have your next best minute. Whatever you might have done in the past, that's the past. So how do
Mm,
you launch yourself forward?
mm,
And the only way I really see to do that is when you have good faith. I believe in myself more than I believe in the marketplace. I believe in me more than I believe that my
yes.
anything, really, right? And my role in this world in this minute. So get yourself whatever you need to take that launch.
Oh my God, I love this. I want everyone to take this in for a minute with us. Betting on yourself. 2025 gets to be a year where more than ever before we bet on ourselves. That is an invitation. That is something I keep hearing like resounding in my soul. And Donna, you bet on yourself by saying, I'm going to take this horrific experience and I'm going to rise myself and I'm going to bet on myself that I can learn this new industry and now you're a leader in the industry. You're asked to speak at the conferences. You're the one on the panels. You're the one people are coming to, and you're mentoring, right? And so I love helping us doesn't it feel good just to get ourselves prepared? We're going into a new year. It's like, all right, I'm going to think about my team, my financial advising team, my reserve, my fund, so I have that 3 to 6 months available to me within 24 hours. And then like, forget whatever's up until now. If I feel like I've been good with money, not good with, but there's so much shame.
Yeah.
Donna, do you see that? Like people feel, I mean, I was told I was terrible with money. I believed it. I then spent, I tell people 2 decades proving people right. Right. I was told I wasn't good with money and then I proceeded to prove them all right. And now I'm really great with money and I know my numbers and I run like we could have a growth mindset is what I'm hearing here, Donna. Like we get to have a growth mindset if we have things we've held ourselves, you made this bad financial decision, we'll make a new one.
Yeah. And each of those bad decisions was a step towards the next best one, right? As entrepreneurs, we have tried different things with social media, right? We have tried different marketing agencies. We have tried
Yes.
different ways, different technologies, right? Well, now I know that maybe that technology for how I trade in the marketplace doesn't work as well as I want it to. So how else can I do it? So each what we might think is a setback or I made a bad decision is not. It's the very next place to find out how we're going to do it better and how we're going to improve. And allow yourself to be that. Allow yourself to be like, all right, I am a better business owner than I was yesterday because I just learned that. Sucked, but I just learned that. Philly
Yeah.
chicks would say a different word, but that's
Yeah.
okay. Keeping it classy.
Keeping it classy up here in the rise, with the thought leaders. We're keeping it classy. I love we need to do an after the show. We could just like, the real speak, right? So Donna, I love this so much for taking us deep. Like it's not, it's about this is about believing ourselves, betting in ourselves. It's about identity. It's about don't look at the past. Great leaders, right? We look out the front window. We're not looking in the rearview mirror. Whatever it's been like up until now. And we do get to have help. We do get to have a team. So Donna, help like when someone works with you, I know there's different ways people can obviously read the book. We'll have the links, here in the show notes and all the things. And team, if you can share Donna's website, like Donna, what can if someone comes to you and just says, help me, what ways, what does that look? Can you help them with tax strategy, how to get clear on their money, make a financial plan? Like tell us a little bit about how you are able to support someone.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for asking. So we provide support, especially for our families in transition in different programs according to where they are in
Right.
life. So like widowhood, divorce, blended families, where are we? But more than anything, let's just kind of strip that away. The first thing we always do is make sure we understand where you are. Like, where's a snapshot of where you are right now? Where are all your assets? Where are your insurances? And more than anything, I'm going to ask my clients to share their story, because what got us here, how we made money decisions before, is going to be really impactful for where do we want to go, right? And so
Mhm.
we call it behavioral finance. We can have all of the great strategies for numbers on the page, but until we know the person in front of us, that's going to be very different. So tell us your story, snapshot of where you are, and then we're going to look and say, where do we want to go? What are those goals? What I do is called goal-based planning. It's not how do you do a budget? We can do that for clients who need it, right? Especially for our businesses when we're forecasting into the next year. But really, where do we want to go for the short term, the transitional, and the long term?
Yeah.
And what steps do we have to take for today, for the next 2 years, for the next five, and moving forward? And then we move into, all right, and how do we make our money work for us? These
Yeah.
are our goals. Money does many of times play that role for our businesses to stay in form, for our staff to be paid, right? For our retirement to be funded. We have to figure out, how does this money work, and how do we use the tools out there, retirement funds, investment CDs, liquid cash? How do we use those to fund those goals? And if there's a difference, that kind of tells us, do we have to be a little risky in life, right? Can we be a little bit more conservative? We're trying to fill that blank up from where we are, where do we want to go, and how do we get there? That's kind of what we do. So you have a roadmap of all of your accounts. You have a roadmap of where these accounts are growing, how they're growing, when can we access the money, and then when can we turn on and off some of these faucets in life. I always say, my job isn't, I can very much say, put all your money here, right? All of it, right? And then just live on macaroni and cheese and keep the heat real low when you live in Philadelphia. It's 32 degrees, right?
Right.
That's not fun, right? So how do we add a little bit of love, a little bit of fun? I don't want to suck the fun out of my clients' world. I want them to live life fully now, but knowing that they have boxes checked for the future, for their business, for their growth, for their mission, and for what they want to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. And I felt so early on when again I used to be in that mindset of, not being good with money and not having I always thought, ooh, like the I want to acknowledge that you're bringing the fun to this, right? Because things like, health and money, it can feel like hard or scary or like just not fun topics. And I always thought I wouldn't use the word budget. I was like, oh, that sounds so horrible. But I created an abundance plan. Okay. I just called it something different. It's a freaking budget, right? It was like, but it made me feel excited. And of course, it brought total freedom. I thought it was going to be restrictive and it did the opposite. So if someone hasn't worked with someone like, if you're listening, and you haven't worked with someone like Donna, who's going to help you make a plan, it actually gives you the freedom. Because then you can travel without going, oh, should I have taken that trip? Or, oh, should I put my kid in this school? Or, oh, am I going to be like, it's actually fun. And it gets to be fun to like enjoy the journey while still knowing we're caring for ourselves. We're not going, oh, that's future me's problems. I guess future me is eating mac and cheese, on the whatever. It's just like, no, like, let's be abundant now and abundant in the future. And you do bring the fun down. So what's in it? Like, will you share? I will not disclose anything because I know we know each other and work together, but like what's a fun, like maybe give one example of a client that got to do something fun and then something you did fun with money this year. I want everyone to get into some fun energy around money.
Yeah, let's see. One of my clients that was what did something fun is, we got them to the point where quote unquote work could be optional, right?
Oh my
So they
God.
decided that, they could stay in this career and they were going to be fine, like retirement check box, and they were in their mid 50s, right? So we say as financial planners, 59 and a half, you can start taking from retirement money without getting a penalty, right? So that's kind of like a goal. 65 is a goal because of Medicare, right? And this was, I want work to be optional. So what can I do? Right. And they opened their own business to have more freedom in their schedule, right? To be able to consult for the clients they worked with anyway, move themselves out of the
Yep.
corporate, right? And into more of, I'm going to be my own boss. And
Mhm.
just that, because they knew what their savings goal was, right? And that they were going to be okay. They're making more now than they were before with having less work, because they knew, okay, wait, I can step away. I've got enough comfort here to be able to take a little risk and to invest in me. And now work is optional for them. It's a beautiful thing. So that's
Work is optional. I want us all to take this in. Who wants work to be optional? My guess is that most of us participating in the show today are not already at that level of financial freedom. And it's not about good, but like you said, but Donna, that you've enabled, that kind of vision for someone. Anything fun you did with money this year that you're celebrating?
I did. So for anyone who kind of follows me on social media or knows me, I turned 50. And so I bought myself a 1973 Corvette, which was the same car that my dad, we live in Philadelphia, there's a place called the Boulevard. My dad used to stick me and my sister in the back of his Corvette. Where he fit us, I don't know. And we had Buck Roger helmets on, and he would take it down the Boulevard as fast as he could go. And I remember he traded that car in to buy a Caprice Classic because it was a family car. And remember the sadness in his eyes. So when I turned 50, I got the same 1973 Corvette my daddy had. So, he lives on. It's great. It's
I
fun.
mean, I was so hoping you'd mention the car. Please, we put Donna's website in the chat, but go follow what's your Instagram so that people can follow you and see the
Oh,
car?
that one be on Donna Jean Kendrick.
Okay, Donna Jean Kendrick on Instagram. Everybody go if you want to see this fabulous car. I'm obsessed with getting to hear about Donna and see the car. I'm gonna go come see it in person next time I'm in Philly. So Donna, before we let you go, because I do a very full schedule and it's a time of the year when everyone's getting things in order, and hopefully everybody listening is going to be inspired to get support, put those three things in place that Donna shared with us, right? Number one is your team. So an advisor like Donna who knows exactly how to guide you in that short, interim, and long-term strategy while having fun and having an abundant life, having that reserve 3 to 6 months, and making sure Donna was our third one. Oh yeah.
To allow yourself the
Yes.
ability to say yes, to
To say
go and
yes.
move forward, take that risk.
Take the risk and bet on ourselves. 2025 is about betting on ourselves in the biggest way, more than we've ever done before. So and those of you joining us today for the masterclass, right? You want to start putting into motion the betting on yourself, right? We're gonna be live today, 2 to 3 Eastern time, on building and monetizing on social. So it's perfectly what Donna's saying, getting that abundance generated in new ways, having those new streams of income, betting on yourself. So Jill, if you can drop the link, make sure people you can join us today for more on this. But Donna, before we let you go,
Okay.
um, what's special about Philly at the holidays? Okay, tell us what do we need to know if anyone's visiting Philadelphia for Thanksgiving or winter holidays, or you just want to hear like I mean, my brother-in-law constantly tells us it's the Paris of the United States. We have real contention about this in our family. It'll be a spirited debate this week, but what's special Philly holidays that we need to know about?
Big things in Philly when you do go downtown. They have in Love Park, they create that into a Christmas village. And I'm telling you, I remember going there before my late husband and I traveled abroad, because they had Glühwein, which is like hot, warm wine. And it's like, wait, I'm justified to have a mom of toddlers with hot wine in my hand looking at Christmas lights. This is
It's a
fun,
Christmas drink.
right? It's all good. So they have that Christmas village. God, there's all these like light shows that whole
Yes.
neighborhoods will just turn on into a light show. And honestly, the restaurants that we have down there now will often have like, come for hot chocolate and come see that, or come eat here. And they make it a full event around going downtown and seeing the Christmas village and seeing the lights. Um, and more than that, we are a zesty bunch of people in Philadelphia. So you can just see lots of things on the streets that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else. And I leave it at that.
We're
That's
going to
the
leave it
fun.
there. That's your dangling carrot to go visit Philadelphia at the holidays. Donna, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We've let everyone know how to directly, if you want to work with Donna and have support around empowering and rising your finances with fun. Donna's link is here. Go see the car over on Instagram. Donna, I'm sure we'll have you back to celebrate everything happening. You've got second book, you've got speaker series coming out next year. So much amazing work in the works, new team member. Your business is thriving and growing. We're so grateful that you are our go-to person for everything financial here in the Thought Leader Academy world. And we are just wishing you the happiest, happiest holiday.
Oh, so happy to be here with you all. Thank you for the invite.
Thanks, Donna. Oh my goodness, everybody. Okay, so let's take a breath into that. And we're going to switch gears and do an activity together today that I'm excited to try because it just created a breakthrough for me. So whenever I do something that creates a breakthrough, I want to bring it here and share it with all of you and see, what it might open up for you. So we're going to do, and I'd heard of this I've known of this. I've probably done versions of it years ago, but I hadn't in a really long time. And it popped back into my awareness. And to do this exercise together, what I want us all to do is think about something that you are planning to do either between now and the end of the year, some project, some initiative, a goal that you have, either between now and the end of the year, or if you're already thinking about the new year, you can pick a goal for the new year. Okay. So I want everyone to think of right now something you really and pick something you're excited about, like use something real. This will be much more powerful if we use a real life example instead of just it being theory. Okay. So you're gonna if you have something to write with or write on, write that goal at the top of your page. Again, this could be a 30-day between now and the end of the year. It could be a goal for the coming 12 months. Doesn't matter. It'll work in any scenario, any time frame. Pick a specific goal. All right, let's take a minute and do that. And just let yourself feel it. Let yourself like connect with the desire for this wonderful, wonderful goal and achievement that you're going to create. Okay. Now, the exercise is this. If you've done it before, I want you to try it with fresh eyes. If you've never heard of it, it'll be fun. It's called Good, Better, Best. Okay? The thought leader game we are playing today is Good, Better, Best. And how it works is this. You're going to take that goal and you're going to describe what would be a good outcome. So if you're launching a program, let's say you're going to launch a new offer, a new program. And good might look like I do it. I said I was going to do it. I put it together and I offer it to the world. Like that's good because I said I was going to, and I actually followed through and I put something together. Okay. So that might be good. So I want you just to like, we're not doing worst case scenario, right? That's a different exercise. We're not doing crappy results. We're doing like, what would be good? You'd be like, all right, good job. You give yourself a pat on the back. Okay. So I want you to make a few notes, a couple bullet points around this particular initiative. What would be like like, good job, you. All right. Just make some notes on that. Once you've done that, you can always take more time, after we're together, take a breath. And then what I want you to think about next is better. Okay. Good, better. So now we're doing better. It's like, okay, if good was, I said I was going to offer this new program. I actually created it. I put it together. I offered it, let people know, but amazing. That was good. Now better would be I create it, I offer it, I let people know about it, and 10 people join this program. That would be better. It's like, it's not just sort of a personal, like I followed through on my word, but also I got, I have 10 people joining this experience. Okay, great. So maybe that if it's a paid thing, involved revenue and each person paid $3,000. So now better is like, wow, 10 people stepped in and they each paid $3,000. Wow, you get out not that you need your calculator, but just for fun, you say like, okay, 10 people each paid $3,000 and I just made $30,000 of abundance. That feels exciting to me. That would be better than just offering it, knowing I did it. Okay. So make a few notes. What is the better version around this goal? And then take a breath. Again, you can spend more time on this afterwards if you want. And now we're going to open up our minds and imagine the best. Okay? We know what good looks like. We launched the program and we followed through. We actually put it together. We did it. Better was 10 people joined in and it was $3,000 and so $30,000 of income was generated and I got to work with these 10 awesome people and create transformation. That was better. Now, what would be best? So here I want you to just go a little bit wild. Okay. I want us to just go a little wild. Like maybe it's like, okay, I launched this thing and instead of, 10 people, 50 people decide to do it at $3,000. So it's $150,000 of financial abundance. Wow. Yeah, the big, hairy, audacious goal kind of idea. And this is the big, hairy, audacious outcome. And then one of those people works at a company and they said, we really need to white label. This is a really good program. And I got so much out of it. I went and talked to my CEO, and the CEO said, we've got to bring this in and white label it for all of our new hires. And so now I've got a retainer with this company that's going to contract another 50 throughout the year. And so now it's 300,000 in impact or income, and I'm able to impact people in this whole company and all the 50 people that came into this program. Okay. So what you're going to do is have some fun. And I do not want you to be in your rational mind and what's happened up until now and your business PTSD and what you're hearing from people about the economy. Right now, it's just what's the best? What is a wonderful best case scenario around this goal? Let's try that now. Okay. Got some ideas brimming. Breathe into that big breath. Now, I want you to look at these three scenarios, and I want you to feel into any insights you have intuitively, energetically. The goal here with this exercise, I'm going to talk about the neuroscience of it in a minute, but the goal here in this technique is not necessarily to say, okay, I'm going for best. Interestingly, you might really like good or better, right? Notice we didn't say horrible, worst case, catastrophic, traumatic. We didn't do any of those scenarios. We did good, better, and best. So you're already winning. Everything you wrote down is a win. And so what we want to do now is feel into what you want to play for here. Okay. What we're doing in this exercise is we're stretching our mind out of, usually we set a goal, we might reverse engineer our action steps, and we just go for it. And this is giving us some gradation and a chance to sort of stretch our sense of possibility and neurology, but also tune in to the authenticity of where we want to play. Just by doing this exercise, you've likely stretched your success quotient. You've likely already instigated some what we call here processional effect, which means the minute we take any action or even vision on our goal, we're opening up synchronicity, we're opening up that magnetism, and that the universe is kind of getting to work on it. So this is a manifestation technique in and of itself. Just spending time saying good, better, best is already going to start the universe going and your own subconscious mind feeding you nudges of where to go. You don't have to pick 1, 2, 3, like the Price is Right doorways. Okay. You can say, I like a piece of, good, a piece of better, and a piece of best. And that's going to give me ideas now about what this could look like. So what this technique addresses for me is it gets me out of any temptation and seduction to play small because I'm requiring myself to do 3 scenarios of good, good, better, best. It also helps me open up to like what the wildly over the top fabulous, best scenario could be, because I might get an inspiration in that wasn't even on the radar. And it also lets me kind of figure out where I feel the most aligned to play. It's a clarifying exercise, it's a manifesting exercise, and it's an activating. Okay. The neuroscience is the reticular activating system is now going to go out and work on fetching you the one you pick. So, what I want to give you a minute to do is say, is there just one of these 3 that you just love? It's like, man, I am telling you, I am loving better. I am playing for better. That feels really, I would feel really good about myself hitting better on this goal. Maybe something came through in best that really excited you. Maybe your good is a huge, huge, huge win for you. And this is going to happen in phases. You're like, I think I'm going for better. I mean, for good in the next 30 days. And then in the first quarter, I'm going to build to the better. And in the course of the next 2025 year, I'm going for best. And this becomes a roadmap. So I want you to take a minute and just do a little bit of insight work, what you're noticing as you look at your scenarios. Okay. Again, spend more time on this afterwards if you want to. So those of you that are here in the live audience, like, feel free to put in the chat, those of you streaming on social, put in the comments, like, what insight are you having from good, better, best? Like, if you just want to claim for yourself, like, I'm playing for better this round, or did you get a roadmap out of it? Did you get a bigger vision than you originally had? Did you actually realize, oh, I was kind of setting myself up in too short of a time frame? I think what I'm going to do is build. This gave me like a sort of middle of the road. Feel free to share an insight for you. What is useful about this technique that you can take away today and empower your next steps? Sometimes this exercise just literally generates action steps for me. It generates more clarity. Like, what is it going to take? Or, oh, I get to figure out I now want the best. Now I got to figure out, I get to figure out a new strategy because my current strategy was going to get me to good, not best. Okay, so feel free to share any insights you're having. And the goal here is to start using this, if you like it, around your January goals and your New Year's goals. Okay, okay, awesome. Margaret, you got a great roadmap. You're going for better and then moving forward into best. I love it. I love it. When I hadn't done this exercise in a long time, I did it around a project recently, and I realized that better was the one that really spoke to me. Best was really fun to think about and I really enjoyed, but I think it was going to be a progression. And good felt terrible. And I was probably going to have manifested good before. It just didn't feel alive. It didn't feel exciting. I was playing way too safe, way too small. So better was like Goldilocks. We're doing a little bit of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, which bed, which bowl of oatmeal, which one feels good, right? And so, yeah, I love that, Donna. So you got the strategy ensured good. Now how to adapt it to get to better and best. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. My strategy that I was going to use around the project I did recently was going to get me to good, not better and not best. So I changed the strategy. And how great was that? Something I thought was a 2025 goal or result, we actually got to create in the fourth quarter because of doing this exercise. So this is an expediter. It's an accelerator in many cases, because we say, ooh, well, what would it take? Like, what are the actions I would need to take to hit better or hit best if I wasn't already on track for that? Okay, And then you might decide, well, actually, I could do that. Why am I waiting? That's what I realized. I said, why does this have to be a next year? I think I could hit better in the fourth quarter, and then I'll go for best in 2025. Right. So I love that. I'm so excited for us to have another tool in the toolkit, right? Because we sometimes again go to set goal, start action. And I want to put this right in between for us and be able to say, we're going to set goal and do a good, better, best on it. And then decide the action we take, because we might end up with a different roadmap, which is what I'm doing. And some of you, Margaret, saying I might do some tapping to get myself aligned. Exactly. We get to see where we're aligned and where we're not aligned, and then we get to line up with it. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be using good, better, best a lot in the coming year. And it's such a juicy time. Just to remind everybody what we have coming up today. These are all free masterclasses for you coming up. They're going to support you taking your good, better, best, not only for one goal, but for your entire year. Okay. So today, 2 o'clock Eastern time, we will be on for build and monetize on social media. So if you have any desire to do anything in terms of client attraction, making an impact, creating transformation, being a leader, attracting revenue through social media of any kind in the next year, make sure you come or register and get the recording. If you can't come live, it's totally fine. You can get the recording through the link. So team, we can post that on our streaming platforms, and here in the Zoom room, it's in the chat. Okay. And then first Monday in December, we're going to be doing the first of two-part masterclass called Rise Your Year. This is a very experiential process that I've been doing for the last 15 years that I'm going to take you through on Monday, December 2nd. All right, we're going to go 12 to 2 Eastern time. And then the part 2 of Rise Your Year Masterclass is going to happen on January 3rd. All right, so I just want everybody to save the date and join us for those if you want to be there and participate. Just register for everything so you get all the reminders and the replays and everything automatically. Yeah, if you were already planning on attending, just making sure you're just so you get all the goodies. We want you to have all the goodies. We've got goodies for you. I got very inspired over the last week in putting these together. So please do join us for those. They're our gift to you. We want you to rise in the coming year. We want you to finish this year strong, and we want you to go in and have the absolutely best year of your life so far. All right. So good, better, best. You know what else I love about this? Just to put a little bow on it today. When we come from good, better, best, we are pre-framing that those are the only options on the table. The only possible outcomes are good, better, or best. We're not even putting attention on other options because we are visionary leaders that focus on vision, not running things through the rearview mirror. We're looking out the front window. Okay. So good, better, best is your new best friend. It's my new best friend. It created a really significant breakthrough for me and our team in a big project this quarter that we thought was for next year. We got to bump it up. And there's really few things I like more than an accelerator. Few things I like more than when the 10-year plan becomes the 5-year plan, or the 3-year plan becomes the 1-year plan, or the quarter becomes the 1 week. I really am a big fan. Anybody else? I'd love to hear if you're like, I just like, let's go. Life is precious. Life is now. We don't know how long we have. Let's go. This is not the time in this community to be checking out and just, we still get to enjoy. I'm going to enjoy every second of holidays, every second of fun with family. I'm not missing out on a thing. I'll be at the Christmas markets and all the, I'm going to be, you smelling the smells and baking cookies. I'm doing all the things, but you better believe I'm going to use good, better, best to finish this year strong and to go in just such a powerful state of vision into 2025. So please join us today for Build and Monetize on Social. Join us for the 2-part Rise Your Year. These practices I will teach you. It's like what we learned today, but times 10, because we're going to have a lot longer together. So I'm so excited to see you for all of those, and thrilled that we're doing this together. Way to go. Way to be strong. Enjoy gratitude for yourself and for everything going on in our lives this week. Those of you celebrating holidays and gratitude in the United States for Thanksgiving, we will be back together for an incredible experience of Rise Your Year next Monday and later today at 2. See you then. Bye, everybody.